Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is 10:41 a.m. Mountain Time here in the United States, and we are doing messages. It is the 7th of November already, and so we're doing messages for Wednesday, the 8th of November today. After that, we will do 5 minutes of Reiki, and after that, if anybody has any kind of questions for me, that will be question and answer time. Okay, so shall we begin? Aries, what do we have coming up for you? Wednesday, November the 8th. I hear something about flying and I hear something about free floating. Some of you may be out there. What do they call those things where you like, oh, hang gliders? You guys might be hang gliding for some of you Aries on Wednesday. Obviously, that's not going to be the majority. But there is also some symbolic meanings to those things. For some of you, flying, free floating, you could literally be getting high or doing some things that alter your consciousness. For some of you, this actually may be meditation that is causing you to fly or to free float. For some of you, this may have to do with things that you're putting into your system that aren't exactly things that your system creates for itself. Let's put it that way. This does actually have a pretty good feeling to it, though. So I'm kind of assuming that for most of my viewers, what we're talking about is more along the lines of meditation. Most of my followers are more on that page than on the taking any kind of drugs or artificial substances page. So anyway, flying, free floating, this can be definitely something very spiritual for you guys. This also does talk about good things happening. It just feels like a good day, whatever happens for you guys, Aries, even to the point that I feel like, no matter what happens, nobody can ruin your spirit saying, nobody can ruin your buzz, nobody can ruin your good day. You're just feeling good. Taurus, on Wednesday, the 8th, what do we have coming up for you guys? Taurus on the 8th on Wednesday. Taurus, you feel like you're running the same treadmill over and 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 over into infinity on the 8th. You just feel like no matter what you do, you always end up with the same results and you're feeling like you're not really moving forward. There's something there where you have to break. You have to break your pattern. If nothing changes, nothing changes. So you're going to have to break that pattern. You're going to have to do something a little bit differently to get some different results than what you normally do. And I got to tell you, Nemesis, which is the name of my crystal ball back there, is just dying to give you guys a message, Taurus. So I usually don't use my stones or my crystals in my professional readings. I just have them for, actually, I just use them spontaneously. So this is not ever anything that would happen in a professional reading, but I do want to see, since she was really kind of being insistent back there, what she would like to say to you, Tauruses. So let's take a peek. Let's see. Tauruses, it looks to me like you guys want to really get yourselves established in some way. There's some way that you guys want to put roots down and really feel like you belong somewhere, whether it's with a company that you're working for, or whether it's for your business and the community that you're in, or whether it's just home and having a tribe of people around you who are supportive and who can be encouraging and nourishing. You are just really wanting to get that established so that you can live up to your full potential, and so that once you have the roots down, then it feels to me like you're thinking, once I've got my roots down somewhere, then I can really focus on the things that I want to do and put my energy into really growing my business or growing my talents or growing my career or growing my family or whatever it is that you really want to grow, Taurus. And so to me, this is where that infinite cycle comes in, is on Wednesday, you're starting to feel like, man, I'm doing everything I can, and it doesn't seem like roots are going down. It doesn't seem like I have the time left over to really to get things in motion that I want to grow and expand in. The way this is coming up here, how it's presenting to me emotionally as I'm feeling around this, is that it would be really easy for you to fall into despair, thinking, oh, this is an infinite treadmill. But the advice that I said earlier still holds true. You know, you have to shake things up. You have to do things differently to get different results. And this also, what I'm seeing here is this huge, wonderful tree. I mean, huge, huge, huge tree, which tells me that you do actually grow and expand in the ways that you want to. You do actually get your roots put down, and you do actually get to focus on these other things that you want to focus on after that. And you are going to do quite well with that, actually. So this is the crystal is wanting to say, you know, yes, it feels like a day that could be very depressing, but um, remember the big picture. The big picture is that you are on the way and keep moving forward because you're going to have what it is that you're wanting to grow. Okay. Hello there, Marcia. Good morning, my dear. Good morning. And I don't know if Stones will holler to talk to the rest of you or not. That was kind of an unusual and unplanned thing, so we'll just see what happens next. But anyway, Taurus, that is your message. Let's look at Gemini. Hello there, Tammy. Glad to see you in. Figured you were trying to say hi or something with that little H there. Gemini for Wednesday the 8th. It feels to me like Gemini's everything just sort of seems to be lining up for you. Like Geminis, I think of you as the third sign because I usually do you third. Wednesday is the third day. Um, the 8th is 5 plus 3. There's that 3 again. You know, it's all kind of coming in together. To me, the image that I'm getting is if you remember vinyl, and some people have vinyl because it's making a resurgence, vinyl records. If you remember vinyl and playing that vinyl on the player, the needle would come down and it would have to go into a very precise point to play the music that you wanted to hear. And if it wasn't in that precise point, it would jump and create scratches, which would interfere with the music later on. I see the needle coming straight down in the groove the way it needs to and just functioning beautifully. So Geminis, for you, I just feel like there's a lot going on in your life that's going exactly the way that you would like it to on Wednesday. Very definitely some forward progress moving. This is not like the routine is the routine. It's just like any other Wednesday. This is progress. This is movement forward on for you guys on Wednesday, Geminis. Everything, you're in your groove. Not only are you having movement forward, but you're feeling really good. Let's look at Cancer for Wednesday, the 8th of November. La da 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 da. Whoever hasn't said hi that's hanging out here, I would appreciate it if you say hi. I like it when people greet me. It's all good. Glad that you're here, by the way, whether you do that or not. Cancer, Wednesday the 8th. I think some things that have been black and white for you, Cancers, very black and white lately. I think on Wednesday you're getting some kind of different perspective where the edges are kind of being rounded. So where things might have felt sharp and very much black and white, now there's starting to be a little bit of shades of gray. You're starting to look at things in a little different way and starting to realize that maybe everything is not just as cut and dried as I thought. Sometimes there are complicated situations and factors to be considered that you wouldn't normally think of in every situation. And so you're allowing yourself to go down that road and think about, you know, well, wait a second, how does this impact this situation that I've seen as black and white before? You know, what does this say about this person? What does this say about me even, maybe? But something that has been very black and white, very clearly defined for you, I feel like that is losing some of that clear definition. Doesn't mean that you're losing clarity. In fact, it has the sense to me that you're coming into a more enlightened place where before you sort of have blinders on. You know, if it didn't fit within your perspective, it wasn't okay. Now you're starting to realize that maybe some things are okay that didn't fit when you had the blinders on. Maybe there are more things that are okay than what you realized. All right. So that's Cancers for Wednesday. By the way, there was a lot of maybes in there. So I don't think you're going back to Cancer. I don't think you're coming up with definite conclusions about things, but I do think you're giving people a little bit more credit and a little bit more. I really don't want to say benefit of the doubt because I don't think there's anything about mistrust here, but you're giving people a little bit more credit where they deserve it for having integrity in their situation and dealing with it in the best way they know how. All right, so now I'm done with Cancer. Let's move on to Leos for the 8th of November, Wednesday. Leos, I feel like there's something that you're thinking about on Wednesday that you're very much divided. It's almost like you're divided just right down the middle, half and half, about how you want to react to this situation or what you want to do about this situation that you're thinking about. It may even be a situation where it's not just you that is divided, but maybe you're in a group where there's a real dividing line as far as people's opinions about what needs to happen or what the group needs to do moving forward. And so I do see this as a little bit divisive. I wanted to think about that word and feel into it a little bit more before I throw it out there. I see it as being a little bit divisive in a group. And I think also, if this is for you, Leos, if this is just talking about you being conflicted within yourself, I still get a divisive feel around that energy too, because there are people around you who want you to make a decision one way or the other. Maybe people on either side that just want you to make a decision and you're just not ready. You're just too, you just don't really see which way to fall, which way makes sense. And so you're not ready. And so even in that case, I think that's divisive between you and other people. Just when you say, you know what, I'm not in a place to make that decision right now. You're going to have to give me some time. That can be divisive between you and these other people. But for those of you that it's a group that you're a part of, I feel like there is definitely some divisiveness in that group. And it is something that where I don't see it as being a huge concern to you. I feel like this is something that if it is not nipped in the bud, so to speak, this can grow and this can turn into a problem on down the road. So if you have an opportunity to be a peacemaker or to bring people into a place where they can see things from a similar perspective, Wednesday the 8th would be a really great time to do that. No time like the present. Because like I said, this feels like this can really grow to be a big problem if you don't take care of it now. But if you take care of it now, it can be something that people have forgotten about by Thursday or Friday. All right, let's move on to Virgo. Excuse me, guys. Virgo, November the 8th. What do we have coming in for you guys? Rock solid, steady, and stable are the words that I'm hearing for you all. Rock solid, steady, and stable. I think there are some things going on around you, Virgo, that might shake some other people up, might have them a little bit wigging out or getting upset, or maybe even, really doing some things that were not so logical or even in their best interest. And I think that whatever these things are that are happening around you, I feel like you are not surprised. You're just not surprised. You may have even seen the writing on the wall and seen it coming. And so you're really, whatever reaction you have is really so much like a non-reaction. That's where that rock solid, steady, and stable is coming from. Like you're like, yep, saw that one coming. It's okay. I have the backup plan. Let's put the backup plan in place now. Or whatever it is. I mean, you're just ready. It doesn't surprise you. So, yeah. I really want to look into what section of your life we're talking about these kind of surprising things or whatever. Surprising things that don't surprise you. I think this has to do with family. I think this has to do with family. This may have to do with something that, a parent says or that a child says. Maybe a child really wants to move off to college far, far away, and you were really hoping that they would stay close. It can be something like that. But I think you're handling it. Whatever it is, you're handling it pretty well. Let's look at Libras. Libras for Wednesday, November the 8th. Hello there to you new viewers who just walked in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please say hi. I always kind of am curious about who all is coming into the room. So what do we have here, Libras? Libras, I feel like you're putting a lot of effort into really pushing forward with something in a solid way. I feel like you are making progress. There is a whole lot of effort going out. To me, this is almost like when you build a stone house, like a natural stone house, and you've gone and you've collected all your stones from the river or the mountain or wherever you collect stones from. Don't ask me. I've never built a stone house. But you're building a stone house and you've got all these stones laid out there, and then you're putting the wall together and putting in the stuff that joins all the stones. I mean, this feels labored. This feels heavy, like heavy work that you're doing. Not necessarily that you're doing physical labor, but that you're just putting so much energy and effort into whatever you're literally pushing forward on Wednesday. This is this actually is kind of disturbing to me to see you putting in so much energy and effort and just out and out labor at an energetic level, at least, into pushing this thing forward. First of all, pushing things is never fun. And secondly, you can use law of attraction and bring things in such a much easier way. So if you Libras don't know about law of attraction, I would highly recommend you check it out and start figuring out how to work it. If you Libras who are hearing me do know about law of attraction, then take this as a reminder that, things don't have to be so hard for them to be successful. Okay? So let's look at Scorpio for Wednesday, November the 8th. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. By the way, my prediction for me for today is already happening, even though it's not even noon yet here. Putting out fires, running around from this place to that place, going around the mulberry bush, trying to get things done. Okay, Scorpio for tomorrow, for Wednesday the 8th. I'm hearing having fun. Like every time I try to push that away, like, oh no, I've got work to do. Having fun, having fun, having fun. So whatever we're doing, we're having fun tomorrow. Maybe we are working and maybe we're just enjoying our work. Maybe we're taking some downtime and we're having fun. Maybe this is after work or before work. For some of us, I'm actually getting an image of hanging out with the kids and just having fun with the kids, like young ones, like 10 or younger even, just hanging out and having fun on their level, having that childlike fun with the kids. So very cool. Very cool. All right, little ODD. Hello, hello. No BM drama. I love your name, by the way. Took me a minute to put it all together. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you here. I just totally forgot what I predicted for Scorpio there. All right. I'll have to look at that later. Sagittarius for Wednesday the 8th. What do we have coming up for you guys? Sagittarius. You guys, I'm feeling like there's a flow going on. I'm actually picturing. Hello there, Christelle. I'm actually have this picture of like somebody making like the sign of the wave. Like you guys have a real flow going on the 8th and you're enjoying it. I also feel like at the same time that you're enjoying it, you're being very productive. You're getting a lot of things done. And I think you're also interacting with a lot of people and really enjoying the interaction. And they may be actually helping you in the things that you're getting done in your productiveness. Okay, so that's Sagittarius. Okay, Christelle. Yep, I'm still here. Talk to you soon. Christelle was the one who was Skyping me. I'm sure you guys heard my Skype going off. So we will talk after. Let's see, Capricorn. Christelle, by the way, is a very good reader for those of you who've never had a reading with her. She also does soul therapy. Fantastic, fantastic work she does. Let's see, Capricorn, what do we have coming up here? I'm hearing digging in the earth, which it's fall. Actually, it's almost winter. I have snow on the ground outside my window. I'm not sure why you're digging in the earth, Capricorn. Are you looking for buried treasure? Are you in the other half of the world where it's coming into springtime now? I'm not sure what's going on, digging in the earth. But also, the thing about digging in the earth, to me, the other thing that that represents, besides something very literal, which is how a lot of these readings come out when you're doing generals, there's some very literal things that show up. And then there are also some very non-literal things that show up. So the non-literal things that show up have to do with becoming grounded, getting yourself very grounded, getting it. And when I say grounded, that's really being in touch with reality, not in the daydreamer mode, kind of everything out of focus as far as what's in reality right now. Sometimes it can be really easy to be in a relationship, especially a new one, and kind of be out of sync with reality. So this is more about being in sync with reality, really taking a good look at things. This can be very sobering. Sometimes this comes in the form of a wake-up call that gets us grounded. And sometimes this is more of something that we are doing intentionally. And for you guys, I'm feeling like this is more something that you're doing intentionally. I feel like there's something that is in your manifestation or in your reality that you haven't really been looking forward to looking at. You kind of know it's there, but you haven't looked at it in detail. You may be looking at it in detail on the 8th and really looking at it in detail with an eye towards um, finding out, what is this situation really? And uh, once you know what the situation is, really the intention is to find a way to improve that situation or to make it better. So very grounded day for you guys on Wednesday, Capricorn. Some of you may be digging in the ground looking for a water leak, actually trying to figure out, okay, how bad is the leak? Should I call a plumber or should I just keep digging? If that's you and it's coming in for you very literally, call the plumber. I've been in that situation. Call the plumber. All right, Aquarius. What do we have coming up for you guys? November the 8th, Wednesday. You guys could be fishing on Wednesday, Aquarius. I'm actually seeing one of those little old-fashioned red and white round bobbers just like floating on the water. You guys could be fishing. You guys could be just floating along. Maybe some of you have done everything that you needed to do. You've met all your deadlines, and now you're just kind of, okay, now I'm doing my stuff that needs to be taken care of, but there's no deadlines. It's just the stuff that I know is there. Okay, so that's what I see coming up for you guys. Just bobbing along. And the other thing about a bobber, whenever it's there, it's really, as it's bobbing along the waves, there's not really a set destination for a bobber. I mean, if you've ever watched a bobber after the string has broken above it, there's really not a set destination. It just kind of follows the waves. It goes wherever the waves take them. This is what I feel like for you guys too. You don't really have a set destination, a set purpose, a set, what am I going to do today, Aquarius? You are just following the waves. Following the waves, following the waves. Anything else Aquarius needs to know? I'm hearing that you're happy following the waves. Cap is your moon, but you had to call the basement doctor. Out, 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 out. Wow. Crazy how this stuff works, isn't it? I've been doing this a little while. I still think it's crazy how this stuff works. Okay, Pisces. Pisces for Wednesday, November the 8th. What do we have coming up for you guys? Woo! I think you're going to be eating good. I usually see you guys as a fish, which is no surprise, right? But this time, like I've never seen this before. This time I just saw you like blowing up really big, like fat. Like I'm showing you the sides of your body, just like. So you may be eating really good on Wednesday. Let me see what else that could mean, though. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm hearing is getting too big for your britches. It may be really tempting, Pisces, to start getting a little bit too big for your britches and to really be aware of all the effort and energy you've put into something, and to the point that you kind of can't see the effort and energy that other people are putting into that same thing as well. So this will be a good day to, like, if you want to get on that high horse and you just feel really tempted, this might be a good day to hold back. I think hold back for 24 hours before you say those things that you want to say. Give yourself some time to get some perspective, because I have a feeling perspective is going to come up whether you actually say those things you want to say or whether you don't. And it's going to be a lot easier to digest this new perspective that comes up if you haven't said some things where it shows that you're getting a little bit bigger than your britches are. Okay? So not trying to be critical, not trying to judge, just trying to give you guys the messages as they come in. And as a matter of fact, trying to think if I know any Pisces personally. I know at least one Pisces, two Pisces personally, but I don't talk to them that often, so it's not like this is pointed at anybody in particular. No slants there. Okay, so next let's move on to Reiki. So I'm going to go ahead and do like 5 minutes of Reiki for you guys, and I am going to set the intention of whatever's best, whatever will most benefit you guys. If you want to adjust that intention to be whatever will something that you have that you want help with that's more specific than that, feel free. And if you watch this later, it can be just as effective for you as if you watch it right now. So let me get that started. I'm running a little bit slow with the messages. Let me get that started for you guys. And if you have questions, we'll do questions while I'm doing Reiki. These questions can be about Reiki. They don't have to be, because I'm running late on time. So we'll probably do Reiki and then I'm going to sign off. So whatever questions you have you want to do while I'm sending out the Reiki. And then also, of course, I do readings. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, you can check out my website, find my contact information, and contact me about that so we can get you on the books. Same thing with Reiki. I do offer Reiki sessions. These are not 5 minutes. Those are an hour long. And they are focused only on you. So if you've never had a Reiki session where it's just been focused on you for an hour, that might be something that you want to check out. I do offer those the very first time at no charge. Of course, I do have the ulterior motive. I know that you're going to love it so much that you will want more Reiki later. That's just the way it works. But if you've never experienced Reiki before, I would be honored to be the one delivering that energy to you for your first experience. And even if you don't buy it later, I think everybody should at least experience Reiki. What else do you guys need to know? Yeah, so normally I do sell Reiki sessions. They're $93 a session, or I have packages which you can get discounted. And the reason you would get packages is Reiki, if you have something that happens to you that just happens suddenly and quickly, usually one session can just knock it right out. But if you have something that's been going on a long time, like if you have an emotional issue or a mental issue, or if you have something chronic like asthma or MS or diabetes or something, then you want to get a lot of sessions because you really want to get to the root of those problems. And if something's been growing a long time, that root might be kind of big. So it might take a while to get to the point where you feel like, you know what, I'm good now. I don't need any more Reiki. So in those cases, you would buy packages. So Pisces moon and Capricorn sun. I am Scorpio sun, Pisces moon, like you, and Taurus rising. I've got a lot of water. kind of questions do you guys have? I don't like this to be a monologue. Questions, questions. Wow, you guys feel like Monday. Are you not awake or what? I had a hard time waking up today. I stayed up too late last night. I have a feeling there's a lot more delay on the line than there usually is. Gotcha. Thank you for being a faithful listener, little ODD. I appreciate that. So little ODD's not feeling like Monday. What's going on with the rest of y'all? And this is any kind of questions. You can ask questions about developing your psychic abilities, questions about Reiki, questions about how I got started, questions about how things work for me, questions about how to practice your psychic abilities. You guys can ask me questions that you want to read on, as long as they're pretty simple ones, not something I'm going to have to put down like 15 cards to get to the bottom of the case, but pretty simple things we can look at. Okay, I'm going to be here one more minute. After that, if nobody's asked any questions, then, man, I'm going to be bumming. I'm going to be bored. Is your house okay? As in, you're wondering if there are entities in your house? Is that what you're asking me? Structurally? Let's find out. Now you got the King of Pentacles coming up. I think so. King and the Ace of Pentacles. That's good. There might be little tiny, things that could be improved, but that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. Got the Nine of Cups in reverse. You've got the Star in reverse. This tells me that you're probably questioning this, have issues about, like, personally about, okay, is it or is it not? Four of Cups tells me that in reverse, you would like to do something to make sure that it's more structurally sound. It wouldn't be bad to have somebody come in and look at it or whatever, but generally speaking, yeah, it is. I think that if you need to do anything with it structurally, it's going to be little stuff. What kind of business are you talking about? Because I have a feeling it's going to be easy to get confused about which one you're talking about. By the way, little ODD, I think you should also clear your house. Because as soon as you asked me that question, Spirit was showing me something in the upstairs part of your house, in one of the, I don't know if it's a room or if it's a closet, but in one of the areas, in one of the spaces upstairs, where you got a little negative energy hanging out. You just want to go ahead and smudge that house. There's no BM dramas. Transportation business going to be successful. You are going to be making tweaks and changes to it. You're going to be making tweaks and changes to what you actually expect to do with your transportation business. So there are going to be some adjustments that come about, and I think that those adjustments have the potential to really bring forth a lot of good. You will be downsizing, definitely, though. I see you downsizing, and I see you really getting in touch with law of attraction once you downsize, which to me, there's a lot going on there. There's communication going on back and forth with spirit with what you actually want and how to get it. In fact, you may even walk totally away from it and then come back to this business. So you've definitely got a bumpy ride going on. Definitely got a bumpy ride. I can't say that I see it being super successful right away. I do see you making tweaks and changes and taking your time about getting those in place and actually doing them. Your daughter. Well, I don't think it's your daughter. Let me finish up this Reiki for you guys. I don't think it's your daughter that I'm talking about, honey, but it is highly probable that if there's some negative energy up there that shares space with your daughter, that she is being influenced by that. And so once again, I would recommend smudging that house. Yeah, downsize usually is not, what do you say, an indication of successful. I really think you're going to actually walk away from it. I think you're going to go through, you're going to downsize, you're going to walk away from it, and then you're going to come back to it later on with better ideas about how to make it work well later, like about a year from now, later. And then if you want something that's more specific, we can always, no BM drama, we can do a couple of things actually. We could do a more specific reading for advice for you about what to do with the business to make it more successful more quickly, because remember, whenever somebody reads for you, what they're reading is the energy as it sits right now. Free will can change anything that I see. Even a good reader, free will is going to throw a curveball at anybody. So you can change that. You can consciously change that if you want to. So we can always look at advice from Sacred Spirit about, okay, what is best advice going forward with this business to make it more successful more quickly? And then the other thing that we can do, no BM drama, is a little bit less direct, but I really love the effectiveness of it. And that is we can do Reiki around your business to make it more successful more quickly. So those are just a couple of things to think about. You know, that's just want to put that out there on the table, that there are ways that I can help you with that situation. Martians definitely took over. Yeah, I think she's got she's got more than Martians. She seriously does have a negative entity. I mean, they're okay. I won't say she seriously has this negative entity influencer. Yes, I will, because Spirit's telling me yes, you should. But there is definitely a negative entity that's hanging out up there that thinks it's home in her space. So you seriously want to smudge that. You want to smudge the whole house, but you definitely want to focus on that space for sure. Do you know how to smudge, little ODD? So I think we've got a delay. You do. Okay, awesome. Good, good. I would do that. And you know what? I might do that like once a week for a while, especially as long as she's acting like Martians definitely took over. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't feel like you're burning that sage incense in her space. I feel like you're burning that somewhere else. Might not be a bad idea to encourage her to burn sage incense as well, if she'll go for it. Okay, guys, I've been here more than 30 minutes. I went long on those messages today. Awesome. I think that's a good idea. So went long on the messages today. We had some interesting questions. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I do appreciate y'all keeping me on my toes, keeping things interesting, because you know me, if I get bored, I will disappear in a heartbeat. I am not your typical Scorpio. I must have Aquarius in me somewhere. She's not into anything you're into. Yeah. Well, you know what? Even if she just likes the smell of it, it might be fine. I just had a terrible thought. I'm not even going to say that because that might not even be true. But anyway, it wasn't like terrible, terrible. It was like terrible, cute, funny, terrible. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here today. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out and for all your support. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to the next time that I get to be of service to you, whether it's in a reading, a Reiki session, or just the next video. Peace out, everybody.